Catus Maximus here again, this time with a quick review. This time, or excuse me, this is of the Mac 8-piece square socket set. Internal square socket set. So yes, this is a set of square drive sockets. So some of these are a little redundant, obviously. You would have a 1/2-inch square drive socket, which is a 1/2-inch input and a 1/2-inch output. The square drive sockets have a little bit shorter of a end on them than what you would find on a ratchet, and of course there's no ball dentant. The reason I have these is, surprisingly enough, in servicing equipment and gearboxes and changing oil, there's a surprising amount of plugs that use internal squares. And obviously if you have a 1/4-inch, 3/8, and 1/2-inch ratchets, you didn't just use the ratchets or breaker bars, but any other sizes outside of that, and it gets a little funky and difficult to deal with internal square plugs. Another issue is if you have a really bad or really far off size, the points of the square will kind of hit towards the center of the plug and actually expand it and make it even harder to get out. And I'll show you what I mean here. The other thing I was going to mention is the squares are a little bit larger. They're much more precision sized. But if you have, with those plugs, if you have a square that doesn't quite fit right, you can see where it will start hitting towards the center, and it really makes the plugs much harder to get out. So you really want to have ones that are sized just right. So anyway, that was just a quick review and just showing a greater variety of sockets. I believe these are my only Mac socket set, and this was just found at a pawn shop. But I've actually used them quite a few times. The only real points that I'll make about them is on a couple places here you can see where the chrome has gotten damaged and peeled off a little bit on the Mac, but still Mac tools are pretty nice. And relatively speaking, reasonably priced. So, once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Catus Maximus out.